calls for about 8 consecutive weeks. And when you spend $1 million in advertising for 4 weeks before the event, and all of a sudden you have a lineup, there's a reason all that stuff happens. It's kind of like the swan in the lake looks so peaceful, you don't see how hard they're paddling. Anytime you hear about these one-day sellouts or these big things, there's a massive amount of work that went behind it. Plus you had a great market, you had the wind at your back. Today, we don't have any of those things. But all that work still has to happen. What I find today in this market is everyone's taking shortcuts. So they're not doing the heavy lifting they should have done in the first place, and now they're cutting back on everything, and they're wondering why they get 0 results. I'm here to tell you that people that are applying these things are getting great results. But they're not selling out in a day, but people are hitting consistent numbers, 5 units per month. I know developers are doing 5 units per week. I see this across the country. Now, that's 1 in 100 that are doing it. But if you see what they're doing, and I've asked them as well to come in today. You're going to hear some interesting folks are going to show up today and share what they're doing. But this is hard work. So the first thing I want to tell you is the good days are over. It's very tough now. You can be very, very successful, but you can't take any shortcuts. In our first 2 years, we worked with 21 of the top 50 advertisers in North America, because they had never really used the internet to generate databases or leads. So for example, if you were Olay or Vidal Sassoon or Crest or Pantene or Crest White Strips, they had never built an online database. They were spending a fortune on print ads and TV and radio, but did nothing online. So what we did is we started running online contests and online promotions. And how we marketed those, we didn't spend any money, we changed the packaging. So if you bought an O'Henry's bar, whatever year we did this, in '99, we changed all the packaging on O'Henry's bars and we said, go to ohenry.com and you could win stuff. So millions of people went to ohenry.com to win stuff. With that data, we asked you a couple of questions and then we'd send you a newsletter, we'd send you a coupon. We did some really neat things. We took that business model and we applied it to SMS, which are text messages. Who sent text messages on their phone? Okay, so we ran the first national SMS program in North America where it was a program done for Staples, and Staples wanted to be cool and hip, and no one thinks of Staples as cool and hip, but they wanted to go after the kind of school crowd. People were buying all their school supplies. So we've got what's called a short code, and it's B2 Cool. So you type on your phone B2 Cool, and if you hit B2 Cool, within a second you're in our database. We could build a relationship with you from your cell phone. And we did the first national promotion we ever did. You typed in B2 Cool, and you got a $20 gift certificate with your cell phone. What's cool about cell phones is when you left home this morning, the 2 things that you'll never leave without are your wallet and your cell phone. We had a 27% redemption, which is the highest ever recorded on what do you call those things? On coupons. We drove people to an online promotion called myfreetrialhome.com. About 32,000 people entered the contest, but we asked you 72 questions. We want to know, are you renting and how much money do you make and how much rent do you pay, and do you like swimming, we asked you every question in the world. Out of that, 8,000 hit our criteria, and one of our key criteria is, are you going to buy this year? Because if you weren't going to buy this year, we didn't have time to talk to you. The bank and our client gave us 120 days to hit our pre-sales requirement, or they're going to lose the project. And this developer had never failed at a project. This was the first time they didn't really screw this one up. So that's why they were betting on a startup to help them. So we only marketed to 8,000 people. What we did with that database, we put it in about 12 different segments. So if you like swimming, let's say Raquel likes swimming. We would send Raquel an email every week for 12 weeks. We hit her 12 times. So we hit every week for 12 weeks. Say, Raquel, how would you like to swim on the biggest rooftop pool in the city? These emails were so personal, look like your mom had sent them to you. They were very, very, very personal, and they got them every week. How we got them to read them every week is we gave away the condo. We did one more thing. We went to all the major suppliers of Tridell's condos. We went to Inglis, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, which they bought all their appliances from, and said, listen, Tridell gave you $6 million of work last year. Do you want to keep the contract? They said, yes. We won $100,000 in prizes. And they said, okay. So we got $100,000 of microwaves and all kinds of stuff. Every week we gave away little prizes. So the reason Raquel would open her email, or Tony would open his email, or Debbie, is every week we had a list of winners. Now, this was not the grand prize, this was just the little prizes. So we knew that our market was going to read the email to see if their name was on the winning list, but they had to read the whole email. That was on the bottom. They had to read all of our propaganda first. What we learned was the reason these people weren't buying was not the money issue. They could have borrowed it from their friends or family, or they could have got the money. The issue was they were scared of the condo process. They are first-time buyers. They had no idea how this worked, and they were just terrified. So what we quickly, by week 3, we figured out, shit, we got to educate these people. So we decided to put together a 3-hour seminar on how to buy your first home, how to buy your first condo. We did it around about a block away from the property where it was going to be built. It was in a Holiday Inn. It was done one of the last days of January in Toronto. We did $10 million in contracts that first night. And what we did for the rest of the time was we kept promoting these seminars. It was just all about creating the urgency, educating the customer. So, long story short, we sold out this project in the time we needed to. And then we thought this was way more fun because we got credit for all the sales, because Tridel knew that we had built the database that brought those people. It was very easy to prove that what we did worked.